Hello everyone. With this year marking the 40th anniversary of the Alien franchise, I will finally do my least favorite entry. That ended up killing that franchise for the most part for years to come. So let's open it up. Alien Resurrection. This is another movie I've covered where close to every cast member and creative force involved in the movie has disowned it in some form, so let's get started. We open 200 years after the events of Alien 3, where Ellen Ripley, played yet again by Sigourney Weaver, has been cloned, and so has the alien queen inside of her. This is the first many scene to set the tone for a very strange hour 47 minutes. The Prometheus alien covenants seem to be latest targets these days. This movie arguably took far more liberties and made far less sense. Her clone is dubbed Ripley 8, and even though her characterization is different from the first three films in a bad way, it does set the stage what lies ahead. This, she's mainly here for the money, as this entire cast of the town actors that definitely don't want to be there. This includes the scientist Dr. Jonathan Hengedeman, played by Brad Dourif. His performance is almost like he got transferred there from the lab of Moon 13. Anyway, the other crew members of the Heuriga are astonished that Ripley is functioning so well. General Martin Perez, played by Dan Hedaya, orders everyone to keep an eye on Ripley as we get our first glimpse of the Xenomorph Queen. Yeah, well, the CGI is kind of cringy, even for 1997. This practical work by Tom Woodruff Jr. is still decent for the most part. Barely 10 minutes in, the whole movie plays like a greatest hits, real moments, ones from previous films. And new stuff is at best untouched hilarious and at worst utterly ridiculous. We are then introduced to some mercenaries of a ship called the Betty, Annalee Cole, played by Winona Ryder, Yoner, played by Braun Perlman, and a wheelchair-bound mechanic named Rice, played by Dominic Pinnon. There's also the co-pilot Sabra Hillard, played by Kim Flowers, the first mate Christie, played by Gary Dourdan, and the captain Frank Ilgen, played by Michael Wincott. I must say, when Joss Whedon made the script, I'd be much more on board if this were as a Firefly prequel. Also, it turns out the Origa's OS is called Father, spear counterpart to Nostromo's OS, Mother. Ha. The whole security check scene just underscores how nobody wants to be there, but they're getting paid, so might as well get it over with. That Perez has in the cash the same way Fox got them to say yes to this movie. Also, this gives some very strange vibes. This is a writer's future shoplifting bust, but also Wincott's performance being kind of like a precursor to the Train Man and Matrix Revolutions. So, they're apparently trying to grow more xenomorphs by attaching facehuggers to proverbial lab rats. But now we get the medic basketball scene. What is about bad movies and intentionally funny games of hoops? She's able to brush off getting attacked by Yoner and Christie, then with the shot of her making the basket behind is pretty cool. Amazing how little you'd have to change place to make a Reebok commercial. As for the line about comparing Ripley to a predator, I'm not doing the AVP films, though I might do a belated Predator marathon when I'm done with this. To be there, yeah, things have just been your typical $75 million cash grab sequel bad so far. But as the Xenomorph and Dr. Gettleman have a staring contest, things are going to get even sillier very fast. I'm just glad that director's next film Amelie is a better point of this one. Even though the map painting Cole walks across is somewhat obvious, the set design is pretty decent for the most part. So you can tell the performance, much like Weaver's, is most obvious how they don't want to be there. I mean, it's after Beetlejuice before Stranger Things, so there you go. Anyway, the mercenaries from the Betty make their move, and Christie kills some of the guards in the mess hall with twin pistols hidden in his sleeves. Okay, that was actually kind of cool. Too bad how it comes next is much dumber. So, the Xenomorphs in the lab kill one of the others so they can escape. Would have been nice to actually see them gestate like in previous movies, but instead just toss it you at roughly 36 minutes in. What follows is less the terror that helped make the previous movies so memorable and more of a big, dumb blockbuster as everyone tries to evacuate the Auriga. I do find it kind of funny how Ripley can still have blood drawn, but she can punch through the walls of her cell like tinfoil. Though the editing and camera work make it hard to tell what's going on in the sequence, that's nothing compared to the CGI in this part where Perez throws a grenade into an alien in the escape pod, and having another take a chunk out of his brain. Odd. The scenes that are meant to be funny fall flat, and the death scene always makes me laugh for all the wrong reasons. As the mercenaries and crew of the Eureka picked off one by one, I have reached my main problem with the characters of this movie. On the previous films, there was a sense of attachment that added to the terror and impact of what's going on. That doesn't really happen here. The way this character is written, even though there's an overall solid cast, it's very hard to care about any of these characters. In fact, even with the bodies dropping more with each passing moment, I personally find everyone here so unlikable that I actually want the aliens to kill them all. I pointed this out before in my review of Jurassic Park 3, but when I find no redeeming qualities in these characters and want them all dead, the story just doesn't work. Naturally, they fall back on the old reliable blow the ship strategy. Now we get to the utterly ridiculous scene with the other clones of both the alien and a hybrid Ripley. Why is it that Mewtwo got cloned with an eyebrow, has appearances in both a Hollywood movie and an old CGI movie coming, just a cloning of that, more than this? Ripley then decides to take everything out with a flamethrower. The kids love this one. Sorry, I might treat a movie that's intentionally funny. It does that sometimes. What follows is more action that seems like a better fit for the time video game, which is actually decent compared to this movie. I do find that one review amused with being intimidated by the now common dual analog control scheme, where the left stick moves her character and the right stick aims your weapon, even more when they stayed away for a Colonial Marines game. I didn't hate that one, but that was a big swing and a miss there. Also, while the CGI in the swimming alien scene is kind of dodgy from 1997, it does get the movie's best reaction out of Ryder. Her horrified reactions weren't fake, since she almost drowned as a child and hadn't been near water since before filming this scene. Again, even if the CGI isn't the best for the time, I once give credit to the overall solid practical effects since this movie is thankfully almost over. Much like the cast, I want to get this over with and move on. It's then revealed that much like Ashton Bishop, Cole is an android. It would have been nice if they had developed this one instead of just making a bunch of bad jokes at her expense, but only with about a half hour left, anything that ends the movie is fine at this point. So, this finale is definitely the most ludicrous of the first four films. The first was terrifying, the second was thrilling, the third was dramatic. This whole sequence of Humpy escaping the Eureka is just ridiculous. It doesn't have that Ripley and her part with the alien queen so like a precursor to the infamous Metroid Other M. Also, the standoff in the Betty is just ridiculous. Say what you will about Prometheus and Covenant, at least you didn't see what's basically a xenomorph colonoscopy. I'd also get into how the new alien queen makes no sense, but I just want to finish this. I will note the effect of the hybrid pupa is probably the most dodgy practical effect in the movie, looking somehow more janky than the original 1979 film. One would expect the visual effects in the series to get better over time, not worse, but it seems like more like some of a direct-to-video movie than a theatrical one. Long story short, Ripley bolts from the hive just as Betty preps for evacuation. The Eureka is destroyed along with the remaining hybrids, and we're closing the end of the Xenomorph being sucked into space. Though at this time, the gore effects make it look something of a Happy Tree Friends cartoon. Anticlimactic, but I'm just glad it's over. I may not think the third film was that bad, but this one was. This film again divided critics and fans to this day, and is the lowest grossing entry in the US at $47 million, only making back a $75 million budget thanks to international earnings bringing its worldwide total $161 million. It took 15 years for another standalone movie in the series to be released, and 20 years for another movie to be released bearing the Alien name. While I may not have minded what Prometheus and Covenant did, is at least try something different. This movie just feels like a slog for the height of previous movies without much else. What else there is, however, it definitely broke one's disbelief. Whatever happens next with the series on Disney's ownership of Fox, I can't imagine being worse than this. I do wonder if this makes Ripley a Disney princess. I can imagine the house Mickey built will find a way to take advantage of the assets they have access to now. Still, even if this movie isn't very good, it still fascinates me how much the series as a whole has enjoyed a landmark of science fiction and horror. I submit that without the more divisive entries, wouldn't be able to truly appreciate the ones I consider as classics. Whatever lies ahead, even outside this channel, I hope I'm there to see it. My final rating is 1.5 stars out of 4. Well, that was an interesting couple days. So next time we're going to look at Avengers Endgame. Later.